देख रहा है एक अकेला कितनों को भारी पड़ रहा है। घंटे भर से आवाज की जवाब आदरणीय सभापति जी देखा हुआ हूँ, और इसलिए ये राजनीतिक खेल खेलने वाले लोग, उनके अंदर वो हौसला नहीं है, वो ढूंढ रहे हैं।
Thank you, friends, for joining us for this episode. For those who have not yet seen us on the topic of the Iran-Israel war, please go to our Facebook page or follow us on Facebook, Link.
Ram Ram Pranam, Namaste, Avtus. Friends, you are watching us on Links, so please, if you have not yet subscribed, please do it right now, and if you are following us on Facebook, press the follow button to get more from us. Yes friends, Modi 3.0 is due to start on 4th of June when the election results of 2024 election will be out. We are here for some discussions of post-election protest or anarchy that the losing party is busy orchestrating since some time, as they knew from the start that they do not have any chance of winning the election against Modi alliance. The message was clear from the Congress leaders about the intent to create an anarchy if they lose, because they do not have any hope for any other way to come to power even over a decade. Modi developmental program is shutting every path that can bring them to power. So friends, let's see what we have for you in this video.
मैं सच बोलता हूं और मेरी बात आप अच्छी तरह सुन लो। अगर हिंदुस्तान में मैच फिक्सिंग का चुनाव बीजेपी जीते और उसके बाद संविधान को उन्होंने बदला, तो इस पूरे देश में आग लगने जा रही है। जो मैंने कहा याद रखो, ये देश नहीं बचेगा। जो मैंने कहा याद रखो, ये देश नहीं बचेगा। मैं सच बोलता हूं।
By now, we all know that exit polls are all unanimously giving huge victory to Narendra Modi's NDA alliance, but the actual verdict will be out on the 4th. For us, bringing in Gandhi instead of Modi will be like insulting one's own intelligence, but ultimately, the Indians will have to decide.
Modi government is coming back to power with a decisive majority. There is an orchestrated effort to put BJP down in numbers. Never ever have we seen so much interference in the Indian election as we are seeing today. AI technology has been used to slow down pro-BJP YouTubers and social media platforms. YouTube, WhatsApp, Facebook, Q&X are all being used for extreme interference in the Indian election. An Israeli firm has been paid to do the job. Soros ecosystem is trying hard to stop BJP from gaining 400 seats or above. You will not believe this, friends, but the West has a template to create social disruption in countries. It is active and operational in India as well. It is a well-established ecosystem. It works independently and gets activated on the streets in no time after a simple indication is given. Funds are made available in different routes. We hope after the election, the government will do enough to prevent those anarchy forces to come into action. Check here, some elements are already in action. In regime change operations, many leaders have lost their lives. Hope this will be handled right from day one by the force of the Indian authorities. Friends, Modi has been the prime target in the eyes of the West, and preparation to get him out of the Indian realm of power through a long, well-planned strategy by the Western ecosystem, leave alone the election where much interference was created, A long strategic regime change plan has been put since 2021 itself to prevent him from doing his prime minister job and produce results for the country.
अर्जुन के बाद न उनकी हैसियत होगी न उनका हौसला होगा ये विरोध और जो तीव्रता है
Kejriwal was set by the West to bring a regime change to bring down Modi through anarchy, but he was caught and he will be prosecuted. Will the plan of regime still continue? Well, when we listen to Rahul Gandhi, Pappu, he looks to be taking the charge. Kejriwal was the front face of outside force in this election. He is being investigated for many irregularities and also for his external connections. Hope the investigations reveals the extent to which foreign forces are spreading the tentacles inside the Indian political systems to undermine the interests of their country.
Friends, after months-old interference and intervention in the election campaign of India, OpenAI is coming forward to say that its platform has been used by an Israeli firm to run anti-BJP and anti-Modi propaganda. OpenAI only disrupted the operation when the election was on its last days. The propaganda operation was thwarted only very late when the election was almost over. By doing so, OpenAI is only trying to prove its integrity, but how comes it was not discovered earlier, but only when the election was on its last few days? Note that YouTube, X, Instagram and Facebook must have all made billions by letting their platform to be used for propaganda.
We have input of YouTube being involved in the manipulation to discredit Modi and his team. You may read how their employees are involved. So friends, the big tech companies have their hands to influence the democratic process to favor parties who will work in their favor. Let's see what Times Now news channel is reporting. So friends, a whole external and internal anti-India, anti-Modi and anti-BJP force is working ruthlessly to destroy India's progress. The ecosystem will surely not stop here.
आपको बता दूं कि एक बड़े जन आंदोलन की भी तैयारी की जा रही है। जन आंदोलन उस संभावना में होगा अगर मान लीजिए कि वोटों की चोरी पकड़ी जाती है तो फिर इसको लेकर कैसे बड़ा जन आंदोलन किया जाएगा। बहुत सारे एक्टिविस्ट ने मुझे ये भी बताया कि इसको लेकर हम कोर्ट भी जाएंगे, हो सकता है चुनाव रद्द हो जाए। ये सब अभी सारी पॉसिबिलिटीज है, लेकिन आज जहां पर मैं हूँ ये जगह जवाहर भवन है और यहाँ पर इन्हीं सब चीजों को लेकर एक बड़ा मंथन चल रहा है। इसके पहले इसी तरीके का एक आयोजन बैंगलोर में हुआ था।
The country can face lots of attacks from that point by the Western and international ecosystem, including global media houses who are already anti-Modi. Remember, if the US universities can be turned into battlefield for Palestine supporters, this can be the case in India too. Victoria Nuland is a specialist of regime change and it is herself in charge of Columbia University where the campus protests all started. Friends, the battle is still not won after the verdict of the election. I think Indians will still have lots to face after the verdict is out.
Remember friends, if Modi comes to power on Tuesday the 4th of June, as the exit polls are predicting already, a very sinister plan is designed to destroy the country to the level that all its foreign companies will have no other choice than to leave for China, US and Europe.
See, on this ballot paper counting, when the ballot paper is going to be counted, there is a certain procedure which has to be followed. See, we expect the election commission to be unbiased. It's an independent body, it's a constitutional body. It has to take measures that instill confidence in the people, in confidence in all the political parties. Today, the only party that has confidence in the election commission is the ruling party.
They will disrupt day-to-day operations for days or even months, as they have been doing during CAA protests, farm protests, etc., etc. An anarchy situation is being orchestrated by the external and opposite parties' coordination. The opposition parties will not accept the verdict, which everyone has known for long, even before the election date was decided. Modi's phenomenal national and international accomplishments has already given him a third-term guarantee.
All forces who believed in a divisive and divided India, where North is different from the South and East is different from the West, have joined hands and Indians have rejected their call. 365 seats are being projected for NDA of
with
Modi
exit polls
to
predicting
win
a thumping
on
victory
average,
in the Lok
but
Sabha
can
elections, the
reach up
opposition
to
appears to be
400
preparing
seats.
excuses already. Mallikarjun
They
Kharge,
cannot win
after a
against
meeting,
Modi with the ballot, so the Western plan is to bring a regime change operation. Regime change is the long-tested and long-used tool to establish a puppet regime that will work for the West at the detriment of the country. We have one who is sincerely doing the job, and he is none other than Zelensky in Ukraine. Ukraine is devoid of youth, as all the young ones are dead in the war against Russia. The country has already lost a big part of its land, and Zelensky was brought by the West through and orchestrated regime change operation. Zelensky is a proxy for the West to fight Russia. In fact, the stage has been set since a long time, when various types of illogical complaints is regularly being lodged to discredit the election commission responsible for the election procedures. By doing so, they will not accept the verdict of the election and will move to the Supreme Court, where the court will take the decision to declare the election null and void if pressure is built by the Western agents. Well, remember, Gandhi has the support of the West, like Kejriwal. The ecosystem is implementing the French historian Christopher Jeffrey theory to bring down the Modi reign. USA, France, CIA, MI6, big tech companies are all involved. Why they are so much afraid of Modi? Why they do not want him to govern India? You can make your own opinion.
Note that YouTube, X, Instagram and Facebook must have all made billions by letting their platform to be used for propaganda against Modi. This is what Republic reported. The people behind Zero Zeno used AI models to generate articles and comments that were then posted across multiple platforms, notably Instagram, Facebook and X. So friends, you see how AI models generated fake articles against Modi and BJP and followed by fake comments that were designed to influence people's mind to vote against BJP and instead vote for Congress
So if
Party.
this is true, then it would be a stupendous performance.
The people of India has not been under any of those influence. Modi has done enough to convince the people to vote only for Modi. It's unbelievable how Pappu has failed even after so much helping hands. Now he will be a bad loser. He must be tackled early to prevent any anarchy after 4th of June.
We will see to what extent they will create havoc after the election results are out. First, maybe Modi will start with the Waqf board. This board has in possession more land than the total land available for train infrastructure in India. The Waqf board to be eliminated, returning the land to rightful owners or judicious use of the land for local development, for universities, hospitals and community residents and other essential infrastructure. Remember, these lands are those lands that were supposed to be taken by the government during partition of India to form Pakistan. All those who left for Pakistan supposed to give their land to Indian government, like those who left Pakistan returned their property to Pakistani government. In India, through the deceit means the lands were kept in possession of the relatives of those who left.
Bring uniform civil code. UCC is the need for the hour. Although India is secular country, different communities are having their own laws related to some aspect of their religion practices. In first place, India is not supposed to be a secular country. The word has been deceitfully added when Indira Gandhi was in power after declaring state of emergency in the country to keep her in power. UCC will bring all citizens of the country under same civil code. Judiciary reforms. You will be surprised, friends, in India the judges and magistrates are appointed by a collegium system whereby the judges appoint their own relatives and close ones to the judge's position in different courts of the country. Outsiders are not taken in. This practice needs to be changed. The government has no say and cannot intervene in any way. They can only advise. Eventually, the courts are divided like to say, this is my court, this is my daddy's court, and this is my mummy's court. We decide on the judiciary system and their nomination. Unfortunately, this has been inherited from the British rule like all other laws. Civilizational values and heritage to be given prime importance. All developmental architecture of the country is to be in line of the civilizational heritage of the country. The world needs to accept and recognize Bharat with its civilizational roots. India will set the world economic development to be tuned to the civilizational roots of all the countries where indigenous culture and tradition to be given its importance instead of looking every country from European angle. India, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Iran, China, Russia, America, Japan, Australia, Peru, the whole African continent needs to go back to their roots, and this is the direction Modi 3.0 will take. India is, of course, the cradle of all civilization, and it is India which will now take them all back again. Remember, our mandir ecosystem will be back in place with Gurukul system. All major mandir will have their business centers, education facilities, from lower to university, their own banking and financial hub, research centers, etc.
The West designs propaganda, disinformation, global missionization, and social engineering have all cancelled out the indigenous values and civilizational orders that existed in different countries. People were made to believe that their culture and traditional values matter less, and to be progressive means to be more Western and behave Western.
And finally, the most important, the POK will be taken back. Pakistan occupied Kashmir is for India and it will be taken back without any resistance from the Pakistan. Pakistan has already accepted that POK is not for Pakistan. Huge protests in already in way and Pak soldiers are getting beaten in POK. Sri Adityanath Ji of Uttar Pradesh has already said that POK will be back within 6 months after election.
It has been proven But India has come out of caste politics, but the opposition leaders have massively brought forward. This caste-based politics have caused so much division in the country. We are all looking forward for more stability, development and peace to gain ground during his decade-long stay in power.
Yet friends, Modi came out victorious even after all opposition leaders joined hands, all Western media rented anti-Modi campaign, all social media platforms run anti-Modi and anti-BJP campaign, all anti-Modi ecosystem working round the clock in India and outside of India. Anyway friends, Modi is coming with big changes in his pocket. The like of George Soros, Bill Gates, Obama and associates, US deep state, City of London, not the London city as you know today, but they are all in big worries. India will no more be India but will now be Bharat. We congratulate you all for standing with the legend who has put all these cabals to rest in peace. The only way to stop Bharat is to choose the road of anarchy, which the West and deep state will try to make their inroad. But remember, Modi will deal with them not as he used to deal with patients, but rather with Sudarshan Chakra now. We will cover in our other episode who is George Soros, Victoria Nuland, Deep State, City of London, who the global media houses really work for, how they hate India to their core. India will stand for progress, world development, peace and civilizational values. Hail India!